After a rolling night at Hoppies Marina, we're on our way to continue America's Great Loop. It's a big week ahead, as we'll be leaving the Mississippi River for the Ohio and the Tennessee rivers. So how was your Hoppies experience, Morgan?
I mean, we had electricity.
We had electricity.
I mean, it was something. It was different.
It is what it is, you know? It's a place to stop and get gas and spend the night. How was your rest?
I didn't sleep a whole lot just because the constant towboats going by just generated tons of wake, and then the boat was just rocking so much, and you're tied up to a barge, so the barge is rocking too. So everything's rocking, and it rocks for a long time because it hits the shore, and then it rocks you again.
And then you just about fall asleep, and then comes another tow, and it starts all over again. So it was not the most restful night we've had so far.
Oh, I'm pretty tired. Like, I was exhausted going to bed last night, and I woke up exhausted. So that wasn't great.
I do want to say, though, that the people were very friendly and helpful when we got there. The owner holds a briefing every night for loopers, kind of give you a game plan as to where to stop going downriver. There's some anchorages marked that might be too shallow right now because we are in historic low waters. So it was good to get kind of a heads up as to where to go next, how many days to expect to get there, and what our options really are. So that was awesome. We also lost a couple fenders. One of them we recovered, and hopefully we can find the other one downriver. We'll see what happens. All right. The current is so strong in this section of the river that you can see the water roiling below, and the autopilot has to work extra hard to keep us pointed in the right direction. Even the navigational buoys seem to struggle to stay afloat. As chance would have it, a few miles downriver, there was our fender.
See, we got the black thing on it.
Yay!
Yay! Come, you big one. Get out, big
Back home. She got a long way downriver.
I did get it.
5 miles. As if the constant barge traffic weren't reminder enough, we can definitely tell that we've joined the working part of the river. Being 3 years old, Willow is all about cars, trucks, and tractors. In fact, her first big word was excavator. So watching these massive dump trucks at work was a thrill for everybody. The 200-mile stretch between Hoppies and Paducah is well known to loopers for being the longest stretch between fuel ups. For those accustomed to spending every night in a marina, this might be one of the few times they're forced to anchor overnight, or put in a very long day to get to the next available dock. The Kaskaskia Lock is a popular spot for loopers to stop and spend the night, either tied to the wall with the lockkeeper's permission, or at anchor. Since we got such an early start of the day, we passed the lock a little before noon and decided to keep going to accomplish our longest day yet at 88 nautical miles, and anchored just north of Cape Girardeau. Taking the dog outside is a whole different experience when you're living on a boat, and it can often be a major factor when deciding where to anchor. On this particular morning, Guthrie is pleased as could be to do his business on his own private beach. Another popular overnight spot is the Little River Anchorage, just south of Cape Girardeau. With space for multiple boats, it's a good option if you're traveling with a group, and it offers some protection from the passing towboats. Speaking of towboats and barges, let's talk for a minute about marine traffic and how to navigate around it. This is a tugboat, often used to push or pull larger vessels into position. This is a towboat, and contrary to the name, it's used to push barges, also called its tow, up and down the river. The combined length of a towboat and its tow can be over 1,000 feet, so negotiating a safe pass around these slow movers is critical, especially if you're not so fast yourself. Before the advent of VHF radios,
these vessels would negotiate a pass using their whistles. One whistle meant the passing boat would keep the other to their port side. Two whistles meant the passing boat would keep the other on their starboard side. These days, it's easier to just pick up the radio and call the vessel you'd like to pass. Using channel 9, 13, or 16 if necessary, the passing boat will usually hail the other. Call the boat you'd like to pass by name if you know it, or description and location if you don't, and determine if they'd like you to pass on the 1 or 2 whistle. It might seem a little confusing remembering 1 or 2, port or starboard, but there's an easy way to remember which side you should pass on. Just picture a classic wristwatch with your boat being in the middle of the face. If the boat you're passing wants you to pass on the 1, a quick look at your watch will show you that you should pass to the right of your traffic. On the 2? Well, imagine the number 11 as a Roman numeral 2 and pass to the left. Now, what if the traffic is coming from the opposite direction? It doesn't matter. Passing on the 1, you'll go right. On the 2, you'll go left. It's a big day today because after 750 nautical miles on the Mississippi River, it's time to leave the big muddy behind and join the Ohio River on our way to Paducah, Kentucky. It's a tough pill to swallow, turning into the current and losing all our forward momentum. But with all the barge traffic around, there's plenty to watch as we trudge our way up the river.
In the already southbound Pleasure Grant, what's that one? So the day. I will pass on the 1, thank you. Thank you.
We eventually dropped the anchor for the night just downstream of Olmsted Lock, where we set the kids loose to blow off 2 days' worth of pent-up energy.
3.
We had been warned during the briefing at Hoppies Marina that the water level downstream of Olmsted Lock can vary day to day, but we were still surprised to wake up and find that what was 5 feet between our keel and the mud below had reduced to 2 overnight.
We are anchored outside the Olmsted Lock. We pulled up, and the lockmaster was very friendly. Switched us over to channel 14 after we hailed him on 13, and kind of gave us a heads up as to what to expect. We are waiting for 2 large tows to go in, and once they're clear, then we'll be cleared to go in. I guess there's another one coming downriver that he plans to stick us in between. So we asked for permission to anchor just out in the middle of the bay outside the channel. He said that was not a problem. And this is going to be a new lock for us. This is the first one that goes up. So that should be interesting. You looking forward to going up?
Yeah, yo.
Yeah, yo. All right. This could take a couple hours before we get to go, but then it's on to Paducah.
Eventually, we're instructed to tie to the wall just outside the lock entrance and wait for the doors to open. Normally, there are 2 chambers in operation to increase the flow of traffic. Today, they're down to just 1, due to maintenance.
He's a cute boy.
He doesn't care about the waiting as long as the family's here.
The Olmsted lock is a fairly recent addition to the river, replacing locks and dams 52 and 53 in 2018. The removal of the old locks wrapped up not too long before our passing through in October of 2023.
Super cute.
Upon leaving the Olmsted lock, you're 29 miles from Paducah, which would normally seem like an easy day, but working against the current makes it a bit of a slog. On top of being a critical fuel stop, Paducah is popular for their large 340-foot transient dock. It has water and electricity, and it's just a short walk from town. And if you're drafted shallow enough, you can tie up on the inside to help cut some of the weight from passing boats.
I am so excited to shower right now. I don't know how many days.
We haven't showered in a few days and we smell pretty bad.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so stinky.
I think that's going to happen right about now.
Squeaky and clean, it's time to go to town and see what it's all about. Immediately you'll notice the impressive collection of murals on the flood wall, which was a project started in 1996 and took 25 years to complete 60 panels. True to form, we just happened to arrive on a Sunday prior to a holiday, and most of the shops are closed. But it's a fun-looking town with plenty to do, and they have a bit of a sense of humor too. Luckily, the brewery is open, and if you don't already know, we can't pass up a local brew. Paducah Beer Works doesn't look like anything special, but the food is quite good, and they have a nice selection of guest beers. House-made beers are not quite to our liking. Our server was fantastic though, and it was a great place to spend a very much needed evening off the boat. If you've never been to Paducah but happen to talk to someone who has, the conversation will usually go something like this.
You're going to Paducah. Have a great time. It's a fun town.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to it.
Make sure you go to the Quilt Museum.
The Quilt Museum?
I know it sounds crazy, but it's pretty cool.
Okay, if you say so, I'll check it out.
And as it turns out, it is really cool. $15 per adult gains you access to a gallery of quilts with such attention to detail that it boggles the mind. Some of the pieces almost make you forget that you're looking at fabric. It could be a painting instead. One of our favorites was a woodsy scene that even had stones sewn in. If you're in the area, this museum lives up to the hype.
What did we find?
Acorns.
They're not acorns. What are they?
Tomatoes.
They're not tomatoes. They're pecans.
Pecans.
Pecans. We found them right here in the trees next to the Paducah transient dock.
Yeah.
I bet they're tasty.
Yeah.
Do you think the squirrels like them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mayflies. Widely considered to be a sign of a healthy water system, we're surprised to find them covering the boat so late in the season.
This actually isn't so bad compared to some swarms we've seen back home. They're kind of messy to deal with, but they're really easy. You just gotta pick them up by the wings, and chuck them overboard.
And make butterflies too. And then I miss you.
From Paducah, there are two routes to join the Tennessee River toward our destination of Green Turtle Bay. The first route is a direct turn on the Tennessee, which is a shorter distance but often has more commercial traffic, which can lead to a delay at Kentucky Lock. The other, more scenic route is via the Cumberland River. which will lead you to Barkley Lock, located right next to Green Turtle Bay. We're here for the journey and not the destination, so it's down the Cumberland we go. As promised, the river is narrow and quite pretty, but there's more commercial traffic than we expected, since the guidebooks indicate it's the other route where all the traffic goes.
I stick my tongue out every time you put that in.
So we've made it to the Barkley Lock, and our destination of Green Turtle Bay is just on the other side. This one's going to be a little bit different because it might be the largest lift we've done, and we'll also be riding up with the tow. He's on his way down right now to pick up his last barge, and then we get to ride up with him. So our instructions are to hang tight till he gives us the okay. We'll enter behind the towboat, tie up to a floating bollard, and ride up with him.
In the hustle of getting tied to the bollard, my handheld radio slips off my life jacket and falls in the water. Not to worry, it's a floating radio. Or at least, that's what I'm thinking, as it sinks to the bottom of the lock. Meanwhile, the Asian carp are jumping like crazy, and Morgan is having a bit of a freak out.
Oh my god!
We might catch a fish yet today.
I don't want them to come in the boat.
Look at how the water's moving. There it do. He doesn't look scared.
We have donated a number of items to the water gods over the years: tools, grill accessories, a coffee mug, and more than one GoPro camera. But today the gods saw fit to return to us one valuable item.
Oh, I found it! The radio! Come back! The radio, David! It's right here! Oh my goodness. I can't believe this. Got it, man. That's cool.
Well, that was a little bit more dramatic than expected, but as we're now finding out, it's maybe not the best thing to do, to lock up with the tow, because now he's got to reconnect the barge he brought up with all the other barges he previously brought up, and it's taking a while. So I hope we get out of here tonight.
Yeah, I hope a carp doesn't jump into our boat.
Yeah, the carp or something else.
It's so gross.
Eventually the tow clears out, and it's a short cruise to Green Turtle Bay. All the boats that left Paducah with us and chose the other route beat us here by a good margin, but the scenic tour of the Cumberland River was still worth the delay. We make quick friends with our dock neighbors, a pair of veteran loopers on their second tour around. Then we get to work on some routine boat maintenance. The Marina is lovely and features all the amenities you might need. The nearby town of Grand Rivers, Kentucky is an odd mix of old-timey feel and modern accommodations. There are places to shop, a small theater, a decent grocery, and a good playground, if you're into that sort of thing. But the main attraction in town is Patty's 1880s settlement, and any looper will tell you that this is where you go to get pork chops. Now, I will tell you truthfully that we were not quite prepared for the culture shock of this night out, but the Patty's compound is so much more than a pork chop restaurant. The grounds are sprawling with decorations and entertainment for children and adults. All the servers wear the exact same old-timey pattern dress or denim overalls, and all the rooms are decorated to the hilt. In fact, Halloween is just around the corner, and they're already gearing up for Christmas. The pork chop and flower pot bread are quite tasty. but do better than us and make a reservation before you go. That's it for this week. Stay tuned for the next one, where we take a bit of a detour and visit the lovely city of Chattanooga, Tennessee.